My brother was an inspiring motorsport engineer, so he was studying motorsport at Oxford Brookes. But the way he was going, I think he wanted to work as sort of in the pit crew, maybe Formula One. He was always the guy that was a laugh, always the guy that was up for a night out, always wanted to have fun. I just assumed he was going for another checkup. He was diagnosed with pneumonia, and then what ended up being found out was he had pulmonary embolisms, which is blood clots to the lungs. And because of the time frame that happened, it was too late. The world kind of slowed down. I remember getting driven to the hospital, just the lights just flashing by. Now that it's 10 years later, it's about time to actually just face up to it, and I think I feel so much better now in the past year in leading up to this challenge of just everyone saying, "Why are you doing this?" And I say, "Oh, it's because my brother passed away." Such a relief off my shoulders just to talk about it. So the reason for doing the Epic Challenge, 1,000 miles and the National Three Peaks, to remember 5 young lives that were lost. After my brother passed away, 3 of his close friends decided to cycle around the world in memory. They were in Vietnam and got a tourist boat across to another leg of their journey. And 2 of them got on it. Unfortunately, it capsized. Both of them passed away. And whilst Chris was at home supporting his family through that tragic time, about a week after their funeral, he was caught up in a car crash and also passed away. So in the space of 2 weeks, the Pudifoots lost their son and daughter. Tim Roney, who's doing the challenge with me, lost his best friend and brother. It just seemed like a fitting tribute. A close friend of mine was in the army, in the front line, Grenadier Guards, and during his tour of Afghanistan, he and his platoon were caught up in an IED attack, and Daniel unfortunately passed away. So we're also doing this in memory of one of our close friends. It didn't seem enough to just do one thing. We thought we wanted to make it hard, so we feel like we need to do Land's End, Strana Groats, and then the 3 Peaks in 24 hours. I bought a bike and cycled every day, training as much as possible. Lost a lot of weight, spent a lot of money, and now what seemed like such a distant memory and a distant thought is now in 3 days' time. I think the goal is to push talking about these things. I think a lot of the guys don't talk about it still. I think my dad doesn't talk about it still. It's a real world we live in, and bad things happen, and try and give something back and just trying to remember them as it's been such a long time.